Lamar Simmons is a Charleston-based singer and songwriter, a producer, and a multi-instrumentalist. Today, I talk one-on-one with him about what's new with his music for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Lamar Simmons, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I appreciate it greatly. Needless to say, you are a Charleston-based singer and songwriter, a producer, a multi-instrumentalist. So, and of course, your genre is all alternative, indie rock, and easy listening. So, what's new, what's now with Lamar Simmons music?
Well, yeah. So, this year, I've been recording new music for the first time in almost a decade, actually. I've been working with a guy that I think you know named Kevin Church. I've been going to his studio to record some songs. I released 2 of those songs earlier this year. Super excited about that. And we have about 5 other songs that are all being wrapped up right now that we're gonna work on releasing later on in this year. So,
and what was your original timetable for all of these songs being released?
Well, so what my original plan for that was to basically release one song every 6 weeks or so. And that worked for the first 2 songs. But then, life got in the way. Things happened in both of me and Kevin's personal lives and things like that. And, again, life just got in the way. But so that kind of delayed the releasing process, but we were able to continue to work on actually recording the songs. So now I'm kind of remapping what I'm going to do. So right now we're working on getting a lot of those songs done. And then next year we're going to go either later on this year or next year, we're going to go hard on marketing and releasing them.
Oh, wow.
So super excited about that. So regardless, it's all still a work in process. It's all still happening. So excited about that.
Oh, I bet you are. And how many songs were you originally planning to release?
I was going for 12. Because what I wanted to do is basically get an album's worth.
Yeah.
And then release, a handful of songs throughout the year, and then finish off the year with an album, like a full-length album. So, like I said, the releasing process didn't work the way we wanted it to because, like I said, life gets in the way. Yeah. But because we're still working on these songs, I'm probably just going to basically release them all at once we get there, or at least release them like a couple at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And as we sit right now, Brandon, what would be the ideal name of your album if you could release it today?
You know what? That's a good question. If I had to release it today, I would probably say the name would be Here I Go Again. The reason being is because one of the songs that I actually was able to release is called Here I Go Again. And the whole point of the song is the fact that I've been away from releasing music for almost a decade, and now I'm back at it. So here I go again. I think it would just make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And what did you lose actually in that decade period that you now are picking up on?
Honestly, man, I feel like I lost for a while just creative drive. When you get into doing music full time, which I'm very thankful that I can do, you get caught up in kind of this cover gig world, basically. So I'm playing 5, 6, 7, 8 gigs a week, and I'm playing a lot of covers and this, that, and the third. And for a while, I do it full time now, solely now, but for a while I was doing all that while working other jobs, So, when you finally do get a day off, the last thing you want to do is pick up your guitar, and then I got to a point where I was like, no, I miss creating. Let's get back into creating. So, I just lost that creative drive for a while, and I'm happy to say I got it back.
And so what else are you creating musically?
So I'm actually trying to experiment with more instruments as well. Yeah, I grew up. I grew up mainly playing drums and guitar. Um, but over the past year or so, I've been doing more stuff with like keyboards and piano and bass, and just to kind of expand the creating process. Just why not?
Yeah.
And then also, a lot of what I've done performance wise is I've either performed solo with just me singing and playing guitar, and that's it, or I've been drumming in a band, and I still do both of those things. But for the past year or so, I've also been frontmanning bands as well. So like I'll be on guitar and singing while I have another drummer or another bass player with me, just to kind of network more with other musicians and play different styles of music and perform in different environments and things like that. So I'm doing a lot, but I'm loving every minute of it.
Where's the balance for all of this?
Oh man. You know what? That's a good question, man. So when it comes to that, as far as priorities go, if I'm going to be honest, I mean, you got to think about, your finances and your family and all that stuff. So, and I do have a family. I got a wife and child. So, the most lucrative part of all this is doing the solo performances. So that's my priority. And then the band that I've been drumming for, we've been together for about 10 years. So I make sure that we're booked up at the very least every other week, if not every weekend. And then once that's all set, then I do one of my frontmaning gigs. I call it a frontmaning gig. I don't know, like one of my little trio gigs about once a month or so. That way it's all kind of in place. Like nothing's like stepping on any other's toe. Like nothing's overlapping anything. I gotta make sure that everything has its place. And then when it comes to the recording, Kevin and I, we usually it's a slow and steady process. He and I are both very busy, and we've found that we're able to meet on most Tuesdays because I play. There's a place that I play on Tuesday nights, that's located about 20 minutes from where his studio is. And I play there every Tuesday. So what we've been doing is I've been going to him first, and then we'll do whatever work we do for a couple hours, and then I go play that Tuesday gig. And again, he's just as busy as I am, because he also plays full time, and he's also working on his music and all that stuff too. So we're both we're both doing it.
Oh, I bet you are. I see all the time. And let me ask you this too, Brandon. How has all of this made you stronger as a musician and as a person?
Well, honestly, so the more you do anything, the better at it you get, right? So I've been playing more, therefore I've been practicing more. And then also, while being in the studio with Kevin, I've been able to kind of pick up more creative skills. I've been able to pick up more producer skills. Because also, I actually, about 10 years ago, I actually went to school for like audio engineering and producing and stuff. So being in the studio with Kevin has kind of like helped me regain those skills in a way. You know what I mean? So I feel like I've gotten stronger at that. I've gotten better at listening. I've gotten better at just creating with other people, because while making these songs, we also bring in other musicians to help with the creating process, depending on what we're doing that day. So yeah, it's just the more things are happening, the more I'm learning. That's the big one right there. I'm continuing to learn, which in any field, education is important. So.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And what other skills do you hope to learn in the studio in the next couple of months?
Mainly just full on producing, man, because it's one of those things where I sat in classrooms and learned how to do it, right? But then I didn't put it to work for a while from, so now that I'm back in the studio, I'm observing a lot what Kevin's doing. Me and him are bouncing back and forth. on ideas and stuff like that. So I'm trying to use that as a way to just basically get me back into the producer's chair more often soon, because it is something I enjoy doing. So yeah, just trying to expand in any way I can, while also implementing the other instruments I've been playing as well. Just put it all together.
All together. And so,
put it all together.
What is the biggest difference about the producer skills today?
You know what? A lot has changed. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. So, because one phrase I use all the time, we live in the future. You know what I mean? So there were certain things there were certain methods that you would use 10 years ago or even 20 years ago that are way more advanced now. Just because, we just live in a time where, we live in the future. Things are just advancing. So you're constantly learning new skills on top of the older ones that you used to use. And then you're kind of blending all of those together. It's all really cool, man. And it's really funny. As we're talking about this now, Kevin is texting me as we speak about I keep seeing his name pop up on my phone because he's texting me as we speak because he's actually working on what we did last week. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He is a great guy. He's actually talking about you to me. He likes yeah. So yeah, he's a great dude. I've known him for 13, 14 years now.
Wow.
And one of my favorite people, to be honest.
Oh yes, and I know you love working with Kevin a lot as well as other artists in the studio. So which one of these artists actually resembles your music?
All right, so are you talking about like a artist that I bring in, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the main guy that we've brought in a lot, he's a guitar player around Charleston, phenomenal guitar player. His name is David George Sink, and he is just really good at. To put it bluntly, man, there's no limits with him. So he can hear what you're trying to do,
right?
You know what I mean? And then just match your energy. It doesn't even matter what kind of genre it is. Because I've seen him play. It doesn't matter. He will play it. If you want him to play it, if you want him to help write it, he's really good at kind of vibing off your energy and then doing what he needs to do in the studio. And he's made my songs sound pretty awesome. And I'm stoked about it.
Wow. So where would you actually move into next as far as, genres, mixing in with other genres?
Honestly, I don't know, man, because what happens is when I write a song, I don't sit down and say, hey, I'm going to write a pop song, or hey, I'm going to write a rock song, or what have you. It kind of just happens. You know what I mean? Like I happen to write a song and be like, oh, that's kind of rocky. That's cool. So I would like to, at some point, I would like to, like later on down the line, is make an album where I intentionally have a different genre every song. I think that'd be really cool. You know what I mean? So like, have one song on that album be more rock based, have the next one be more funk, have the next one be more R&B, and so on. That probably won't be this album. Because this album's already been in the works, and but I just think it'd be really cool later down the line to just have an album specified to having a different genre every song, just because I personally don't like to stick to one genre. It bores me, to be honest with you. Like I like the fact that people can just be versatile. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But then, which one of those genres really describes you in real life?
Honestly, I would say more like alternative rock based. Yeah. I mean, not like rock, but just like kind of easier alternative rock with like an R&B twist to it.
Yes,
it's probably like my sweet spot.
Yes, sir.
Like,
yes, sir.
So you take R&B and kind of easy rock and fuse them together, and then that's kind of my sweet spot right there.
Wow. That's so. If you were to do that, on the next album, say for instance, what type of audience do you think you can actually attract?
That's the hard part because because there's so many people who like so many different things. You know what I mean? So basically, I just want to attract open-minded people. Like I don't want this one group of people who likes rock and only rock to, basically open-minded people like myself.
Sure.
Honestly, like people who just like music, because you have some people who like they stick to one or two genres as far as what they listen to, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you have other people who they just like music, period. It doesn't matter. So that's generally the demographic I'm going for. People who just want to listen to something creative, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm. So what's on your playlist today?
On my Spotify playlist?
Yeah. Because I have enough about 90s R&B on mine.
I love that, man. I love that. Man, so, I mean, this is a very cliche thing to say, but I'm one of those people who, like, I'll put it on shuffle, and it's a different genre every song. However, lately, I've been listening to a lot of, like, I'm really influenced by people like Lenny Kravitz and Gary Clark Jr., and then two of my absolute favorites are Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson. So I'm always listening to them. So right now, those are like the main people I'm listening to. Like those four artists and people around that genre are like the main things I'm listening to. But in generally speaking, I'm listening to everything.
Wow, that's really amazing. Well, I know you're so busy, you have other things to do, so I thank you for your time here on Quintin's Close Ups, Brandon.
I thank you for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, likewise.
It's been a pleasure again. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hope to get you back on soon.
Y'all, please. Let's do that in-person interview, man.
Yeah.